The Book of Revelation has captivated believers, scholars, and skeptics alike for centuries, with its intense symbolism, prophecies, and warnings about the end times. Before we start, we'd like to ask for your support. If you enjoy our video, please hit the like button. This will help us reach more people and create content for you. Now let's get started with today's video. While some interpret Revelation metaphorically, others view it as a literal prophecy of events that will unfold in the future. In recent times, many believe that specific technological, political, and social changes resonate strongly with certain aspects of Revelation's prophecies, especially the predictions about the mark of the beast and an eventual world system of control. Here, we'll delve into several aspects where Revelation appears to align with current events, looking at developments in technology, financial systems, global governance, and societal trends, which are sometimes seen as fulfilling biblical prophecy. 1. The mark of the beast and emerging identification technologies. The mark of the beast is one of the most famous and often debated aspects of the book of Revelation. Revelation 13 verses 16 to 17 states, "He causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hand or on their foreheads, and that no one may buy or sell except one who has the mark or the name of the beast, or the number of his name." This passage suggests a future system where individuals will need a specific mark to participate in economic activities. Historically, some have viewed this as symbolic, but in modern times, many see parallels in the rise of biometric technology, digital identification, and implanted microchips, bioimplantable chips, and digital IDs. Companies in countries like Sweden and the United States have already introduced bioimplantable chips for various purposes, including identification, security access, and even making payments. This technology allows individuals to access their workplace, medical records, or bank accounts by simply scanning their hands or other body parts. For example, a company called Biohacks offers microchip implants that contain personal information and can be linked to financial accounts, facilitating transactions and identification without the need for traditional cards or physical ID documents. Although these technologies are optional, their integration into the fabric of society could lead to a point where not having one could create significant barriers to participating in everyday activities. Concerns are mounting that, eventually, such technology could become mandatory or, at least, difficult to avoid, reflecting the restrictions described in Revelation 13. Digital currencies and financial control. Another aspect of Revelation's prophecy involves control over buying and selling. Today, there is significant momentum around developing central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, and cashless payment systems. Governments worldwide are exploring or testing digital currencies as a replacement for cash. This shift toward digital transactions is convenient, but could also potentially centralize economic power in the hands of authorities or financial institutions. In a world where currency exists only in digital form, authorities might gain unprecedented control over individual spending, aligning closely with the concept of economic control implied by the mark of the beast. China's digital yuan pilot program, for example, is closely monitored by the government, raising privacy concerns. In a system with total digital control, authorities could theoretically restrict purchases based on an individual's behavior or status. While intended to reduce fraud and increase efficiency, it could also create the conditions for the type of control Revelation warns about. 2. The rise of global governance and consolidated power. Revelation also speaks of a coming beast that holds global power and unites the world in a new order, leading many to speculate that this could be an allusion to a future global government. Revelation 13 verse 7 says, "It was granted to him to make war with the saints and to overcome them, and authority was given him over every tribe, tongue, and nation." Today, global organizations like the United Nations, World Health Organization, and World Economic Forum are powerful entities that influence international policies on health, environment, trade, and more. Some see these global initiatives as potential stepping stones toward the centralized governance that Revelation describes. International regulations and the push for global standards. One area of growing influence is the push for international standards and regulations. While these standards aim to promote safety, security, and efficiency, they can also lead to a loss of national sovereignty. Policies related to climate change, public health, and security require nations to comply with international protocols, gradually reducing individual governments' power and autonomy. Organizations such as the World Economic Forum have introduced concepts like the Great Reset, which seeks to reshape economies and societies in response to global challenges like climate change and economic inequality. Although the stated goals are benevolent, the potential for overreach exists. Critics worry that centralized global authority could pave the way for the type of control Revelation describes, where one system governs all. The spread of surveillance and the erosion of privacy. The Book of Revelation also suggests a period when individual freedoms will be severely restricted, with monitoring and persecution of those who resist this system. Revelation 13 verse 15 implies that those who refuse to worship the image of the beast would be killed, highlighting a level of control that restricts freedom to a dangerous extent. Today's surveillance systems have reached unprecedented levels, with technology now capable of tracking individuals in real time. Surveillance technologies, cameras, drones, and AI. In many cities worldwide, high-definition cameras linked with AI systems monitor public spaces 24/7. In places like China, social credit systems track citizens' behavior, assigning scores based on their actions and choices. These systems can restrict individuals' freedoms based on these scores, affecting everything from travel to financial transactions. While such surveillance is currently restricted to certain regions, the technology exists for worldwide application. Even in democratic nations, surveillance technologies such as drones, facial recognition, and predictive AI analytics are common tools for law enforcement and counterterrorism. While these tools improve safety, they also bring concerns about privacy and civil liberties. In Revelation's prophecy, such technologies resonate with the potential to enforce compliance, monitor dissent, and penalize those who do not conform to the dominant system. 4. Social control and the rise of cultural conformity. Revelation 13 also alludes to a period when people would be forced to conform, worshiping the beast and receiving its mark. Today's culture of conformity, often reinforced through social media, news, and entertainment, has led some to draw parallels to this prophecy. Modern social media platforms have immense power to influence public opinion, encourage conformity, and, in some cases, marginalize dissenting voices. Cancel culture and social media influence. The concept of cancel culture, where individuals face social and professional consequences for expressing unpopular or controversial opinions, can be seen as an extension of social control. Although not state-sponsored, this cultural phenomenon often operates with an intensity that pressures people to conform. While this differs from Revelation's prophecy about enforced worship, it reflects a similar spirit of intolerance for dissent and individuality. Social media companies possess the power to control information flow, censor content, and even shape political outcomes by amplifying or suppressing certain narratives. If these technologies were to align with an authoritarian system, the control over public perception could be profound. The Revelation prophecy about a beast system that requires allegiance could find an analogy here, with technology becoming a tool for cultural and social enforcement. 5. Religious persecution and the war on the saint. Revelation 13 describes a war on the saints, where believers in God are persecuted. Today, religious freedom remains a challenge in many parts of the world, with increased hostility towards certain religious beliefs in public discourse. In places like the Middle East, parts of Asia, and even in Western nations, Christians and people of other faiths face legal restrictions, social stigma, and in extreme cases, violence. This growing tension against religious expression mirrors Revelation's warning about future persecution. Legal restrictions on religious expression. In some countries, new laws and social policies have been enacted that limit religious expressions in public settings, especially if these beliefs conflict with state or societal values. For instance, in some Western nations, expressing certain religious views on moral or social issues can lead to legal action, job loss, or social isolation. While these restrictions are often intended to promote inclusivity, they can also suppress freedom of belief and religious expression. Conclusion. Revelation as a warning for the present. The book of Revelation, while ancient, remains a profound and often eerily resonant text for those who view it through the lens of modern developments. Advances in technology, the movement toward global governance, the rise of surveillance, social control, and religious persecution all echo aspects of the prophecies. For many believers, these trends serve as a reminder of Revelation's warnings about a future world where freedoms are curtailed and a single system dominates. While the specifics of Revelation's prophecies remain subject to interpretation, the alignment with contemporary events has led many to conclude that the Bible was indeed right again about the trajectory of human society. Whether or not we are in the end times, the book of Revelation certainly provides a powerful lens through which to view the present, encouraging vigilance, faith, and, for many, a return to spiritual foundations in the face of a world that increasingly mirrors this ancient prophecy. Please subscribe my YouTube channel. I hope you like this video. Thank you.